Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Vaughn Radio.
That's right, it's Vaughn Radio, and this is the show with no name. Time for liftoff. 10, 9, countdown with me, folks.
6.
I need your help.
4, 3,
2, 1, 9. Oh,
ignition. Liftoff.
there we go.
Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Let's go.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt.
Get up
Fasten
there.
your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready
For the ride of your life.
The show with no. It's show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio.
It's the show with no name. It's the show with no name. Let's go. Come on. Show with no name. Show with no name. Show with no name.
Folks. Yeah. Welcome to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. We are having tons of fun as we always do. Oh, yeah. All right, all right. All right, folks, welcome aboard. Wow, another exciting show. I've been up for hours. I'm telling you right now, llevo horas despierto. I get up usually around 6 a.m. So what time is it now? Yeah, do the math. Welcome, amigos. Welcome to the show with no name. We've got a great show for you today in store. Por venir. I'm so excited because now it's official. It's just days away. And what am I talking about? I think you know what I'm talking about. Feria del Libro Madrid. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time of year again. Spring has sprung, and that means it's time for the book fair at the Retiro Park in Madrid. It kicks off on May 26th till June 11th. Join us at Grupo Vaughn's stand 312, 312. I'll be there with Damian Moya presenting our latest book.
Damian Barrancas.
And my amigos will be there signing their books as well. Cool. Don't miss.
Julia Linares,
Oh, yeah.
or Jules, host of the Let's Get Random show.
Dave Boyce,
Oh, man.
host of The Salads.
Jimena Holiday, host of Test Your English.
Guy Williams, host of Western Civilization.
Natasha Pasqua, host of Back to Basics.
Kyle Miller from The Drive Time Show.
Richard Vaughn.
And many more. Meet your favorite Vaughn presenters, teachers, and authors at Feria del Libro 2023. Stand 312. Check out our website for the complete schedule, grupovaughn.com, and follow us on social media for further updates. Feria del Libro 2023, with Vaughan at the Retiro Park in Madrid. Join us at stand 312. And as you know, I'll be there with my brand new book, brand spanking new, nuevísimo. That's right. This book is the shit, and you can be the first one to get your hands on it. All you got to do is join us at Feria del Libro, or wait till the weekend, this coming weekend. It should be available at Von Tienda. If you don't live in Madrid or you can't make it to the book fair, but you don't know how excited I am right now. Man, wow. I'm on tenterhooks. En Ascuas? I used to say in Pascuas. Speaking of, Tosh Pascua is going to be there June 11th from 12 to 2 p.m. So make sure you check her out, because I'll be there too with Damian that same morning. I'll get there a little bit earlier, but we'll all be there as of 12. So come check us out before lunch. This is Sunday, June 11th, the last day of the book fair. So that'll be your last chance. Your first chance is this Friday, May 26th, but I won't be there. I'll be there. Jot these down. Saturday, May 27th, Saturday, June 3rd, Sunday, June 11th. And all of those are from 11 to 2 p.m. I really hope you guys will come. I'd love to see you all. You know it. I know many of you are coming already. And it's always a special time of year. But man, when you've got a new book coming out, a new material, because it's more than just a book. It's got QR codes in it with menus to your favorite restaurants. No. No, the QR codes are, well, sometimes we'll come across a pronunciation thing. And, well, it'll lead to a video, or I'll say, hey, you know, there's a scene in a movie, like I do here many times. Well, there, you'll just whip out your phone and you'll be able to see the joke we're explaining, or whatever the grammar concept may be. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. So join us Saturday, May 27th, Saturday, June 3rd, and Sunday, June 11th. I'll be there with Damian Moya, there being stand 312 at the Feria del Libro. And we'll be there mornings until lunchtime from 11 to 2 with our brand new book. This book is the shit. You don't know how excited we are. I can't even put it into words. Seriously, thrilled to the gills is an understatement. And thrilled to the gills is encantadísimo. And an understatement, it's a good way, se queda corto, I think you would say, es decirlo poco, right? It's an understatement, So, folks, welcome. If you can't make it to the book fair, you'll be able to pick up the book soon. And that'll be, I don't know. Let's just say, stay tuned. You'll be the first to know when there's a link where you can buy it. And that's for those of you who won't be coming to the book fair. No problem. We get it. I know not everybody lives in Madrid. Now, if you live in Madrid, you got no excuses. As my buddy Fitz's show is called, No Excuses. All right, well, let's kick off with a challenge, shall we? Let's kick off with our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. You better sing it with me, folks. I told you I'm excited. I want you to match my excitement. Let's go. I go big, you go bigger. And then we just keep doing that. Pop quiz. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Na 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 na, na, na. All right, amigos, that's right. It's our pop quiz only on the show with no name. And it's a challenge, your first challenge of the day. And today it's sponsored by my good buddy, Kyle Miller. You know him. He's the host of Drive Time. He's also the author of Business English. And he will be at the book fair Sunday, June 4th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. He'll be there from 12 noon to 2 p.m. June 4th. That's only one date. So if you are a Kyle Miller fan, a diehardis a muerte. If you're a diehard fan of Kyle Miller's, then you've got to go see him. He will be there Sunday, June 4th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. And you've got to listen to his show, which is just an amazing program. The show, I think you all know it. I think you all love it. It's called Drive Time. And so here's a translation from Kyle's show, Drive Time, where he looks at everything and anything in the language that needs to be looked at. So he looks at structure, pronunciation. Kyle is a complete teacher. He is a really amazing teacher. And also you get to have him every day on Vaughn Radio. Just download our free app, or as you know, as a podcast lover, you can always subscribe to us, Vaughn Radio, or each individual show, whatever. It depends on how much space you got on your phone, right? All right, well, here we go with Kyle's Twitter translation. Remember to follow, don't file him, no le archivas. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, and this way you can participate and you can get all the amazing content that Kyle is posting on a daily basis. And it's not just Kyle. It's Kyle, it's Tosh, it's myself. So make sure if you're not following us, I don't want to say it because, okay, we have one less follower. But if you know me, my goal in life is not to have followers. I don't even like the word, honestly. So I think the thing is you're missing out because every time I post a video or something, I'm thinking, how is this going to help the students? So do it. It's free. And it's another way to just add to what you're doing here on Vaughn Radio. You're working on your comprehension. You're listening, right? But you're also, if you're listening to my instructions, you're repeating the structures, the pronunciation, the vocabulary aloud. So as well as translating this for me here in our virtual classroom, I also want you guys to say it aloud. Okay, here we go. Si tú no rellenas los espacios en blanco, yo los rellenaré. Si tú no rellenas los espacios en blanco, yo los rellenaré. All right, that's your Twitter translation coming from my buddy Kyle Miller and his awesome, I was going to say class/radio show / entertainment extravaganza. It's Drive Time. And I can't think of a better way to spend your commute, right? When you're commuting back home after a day where you need to just relax, but you don't want to, you don't want to turn off yet because you got a lot to do. It's the perfect time to get a little mini English class in there as you're sitting in traffic. All right. Well, you know what we need over here, ladies and gentlemen? I think we need a beat. Yeah, there it is. All right. Let's take a look at who we've got here in our virtual classroom. Remember, if you'd like to participate, you can do that. I've got a lot of different challenges, and these challenges are for you guys. It's like social media. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep doing it. Whether you're getting it or not is up to you. Let's see. We've got Born to Iron Man, legendary student, front row center. Ahí le tenemos en primera fila, front row center. And he says, morning, folks. What a rainy day. It's pouring in my neck of the woods. And just be careful. Tienes una S de más. Born to Iron Man, you added an extra S. So morning, folks. What a rainy day. It's pouring in my neck of the woods. Totally native there. Oh, yeah. It's pouring. Está lloviendo a cántaros en mi zona. Awesome. I got to say, I love rain. I didn't even know. I don't know if it's raining here. You know why? I've been holed up in my studio all morning with the blinds closed. So I don't even know what the weather's like if you asked me today. Now, later, when I have to go pick up my daughter from school, I have to check it because I got to make sure, if it's raining, I bring an umbrella. But right now, I've been up for 4 hours and I have no idea what the weather's like. Why? Too much to do. It doesn't matter. I have to do what I have to do anyway, regardless. Let's see. Chris Valrol says, hi there. How are you this beautiful and rainy here morning? So I guess maybe it is. Well, I don't know. You guys don't live in the same city. Maybe it's raining all over the Iberian Peninsula. I don't know. As I said, I don't know if it's raining in Madrid, where I live. Couldn't tell you. I know it was cloudy this morning, but when I woke up, as I said, there was no sun yet. I couldn't see if it had rained or not. But I love the rain. The rain cleanses everything. Limpia todo, to cleanse. Let's see. Kubla says, good morning, illustrious individuals. Come hell or high water. Oh, yeah. Come hell or high water means pase lo que pase. Come hell or high water, I know we will all try and put our best foot forward on this unparalleled spectacle. All right, there's a double totally native. There you go. To put your best foot forward and come hell or high water. Great idiomatic expressions. Kubla, good start. Laura, good morning, precious show with no namers. Let's have a ball together. I second the motion, Laura, and, knowing you're here, well, that makes it, that's guaranteed. We know we're going to have a good time. Kubla says, what a paradox, Born. Spain's in the middle of an unheard of drought, and out of the blue, we're on the point of drowning. Well, yeah, I don't know, guys. I guess where I grew up, it rains a lot. So for me, rain is like not a big, everybody in Spain goes crazy. I don't mean like you lose but everyone's like, can you believe it? Like, I know Twitter, it starts to trend. Lluvia. I'm like, so we need more rain, I guess. It's a good thing, right? And it's got to rain sometime, right? Or else we're not going to have green fields and the crops and all that. So thank you. Let it rain, baby. You know what that means in American English? Let it rain, or to make it rain. Es que haga lluvia de dinero. Make it rain. See? Very, very different meaning there. Let's see. Chris is sending us some books. She's got her notebook. She's got her milk book. She is ready to rock. There's Laura. Finally, some rain. It's overcast in Madrid, but no rain in sight for now. I love it, guys. I've got a lot of meteorologists here. Hey, I know. I get it. Because, what is one thing we all have in common? The weather. We call this in English small talk. Cháchara, como hablar de cosas estas baladís, right? The weather. But yeah, I agree with all of you. We need that rain. We need it. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Chris says it never rains to everyone's liking. Careful. It never rains to everyone's liking. That's true. And, it's all about perspective. If you're a farmer, then you love rain. And think about it. We all need farmers to have crops, so we love rain too, even if it rains on our parade. I'm going to give myself a totally native. I'm kidding. To rain on someone's parade es amargarle la fiesta. Piénsalo. empieza a diluviar en su desfile. Let's see. We've got Jaime. He says, I wish I could make it, but if I go to the book fair, I'll have some problems at home. Sorry to hear that, Jaime. Sorry to hear that. You can always order it online. I'd love to see you in person, but I get it. No problem. No problem. We don't want anybody to have any issues or any problems. Just want you to learn English and have fun. That's all. I mean no harm. Like the aliens when they come. I mean no harm. Let's see. There's Laura. Laura's looking for her totally native, and she's got it. She says, yeah, Chris, when it rains, it pours. Ya veo que tengo unos cracks aquí, eh? When it rains, it pours. That means it can be a positive or a negative. So when something good happens, it happens frequently, a couple good things. The same thing when bad things happen. They happen in a series of events. So when it rains, it pours, right? Great expressions. You guys are really expressing yourselves beautifully. Let's see, Salvador. Ooh, this is gale force wind over here. You guys weren't kidding about that rain, huh? Whoa, this is pretty crazy. Oh, man. Serious storm a-brewing. Salvador, there he is. What's up, Salvador? He says, hey, AA and classmates. Don't worry, guys. I'll weather the storm. To weather the storm. Lots of good expressions coming up here in the first part of the show. Salvador says, hey, AA and classmates. I'm dropping by, instead of I drop by, I'm dropping by, más en presente continuo suena más natural, to tell you that currently I have a lot on my plate and I can't make it to the show. I hit the like button to show some gratitude to Alberto. Take care. Thank you so much, Salvador. And again, I know that, a lot of you guys, maybe you can make it for a week. You can come sometimes. You can't. The most important thing is that you learn, whether you learn live with us or whether you listen later. But Salvador, thank you so much. As you know, all of that helps. And I always tell people, it's not like I'm asking you guys, donate your firstborn child to me. No, I'm saying give it a like. Like you just have to go click. So it's interesting, though. Sometimes you feel like it's a difficult gesture for people. You're like, imagine if I really asked you to do something. Like if I asked you for a real favor that didn't mean just pressing your phone. That said, if you haven't rated the show with no name, please do it. I hate the whole algorithm thing, but I know it's important. So please rate the show, give it 5 stars. If you like my posts, share them, like them. That's how I grow. I don't have money to spend on marketing. I don't have a budget, and I don't have time either. So I do what I can with what I have, as we say, with the cards I've been dealt, right? There's German. He says, hello, beautiful people. How are you doing? Great. Now that you're here, buddy. Kubla says, I'm definitely a diehard fan of Kyle Miller, the Killer. Yeah, that's one of his nicknames. They also call him the Driller. Kyle Miller, the Driller, because he does drills, ejercicios. And in the military, a driller, somebody, okay, another 10. He played a character. So Miller, the Killer Driller. Toma! And then don't forget about the song. You know me, I love the nicknames and giving people cute little names. Kyle's got his own song. You guys remember it? Killing me all with his fingers, and killing me all with his words, killing me all with his words, killing me all with his words. Well, that's what he says he has to say when he goes to a government office. If he goes, you think, ¿Cómo se llama usted? And he goes, Kyle Miller. My name's Kyle Miller. And then they're like, no, aquí no te tengo en la lista. And then he goes, killing me out with his fingers. And they go, sí, eres el primero. Pase usted. All right, folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. I can't believe it myself. The show is flying by. You guys are doing a great job already. I mean, if we ended it right now, hats off. And we've got so much to go, amigos. Lots of challenges up ahead. So I hope you'll join us in the second part of today's show with no name. If I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. You know what I'm going to say. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting. Oh, yeah, you bet. It's part 2 of today's show, and we've got so much to do. Also, a quick reminder, right after today's show, you've got one of the greatest people and teachers ever. And I'm talking about Ximena Holiday. You've got her in her program, Test Your English, where she makes sure you don't make these common mistakes that through years of experience we've identified as, the biggest ones. But think about this. If you make a list of the world's most wanted mistakes, that used to be a section here. If you make a list of the big ones, like it depends of, I am, agree, all of these, and you just practice them all until you master each and every one of them, guess what? You'll be looking for new mistakes. There's always room to learn. Sitio para aprender. Even teachers should constantly be trying to learn new things. Anybody in their craft, en su oficio, should always be eager, con muchas ganas, to learn new things. I hope you guys are eager for our first challenge of the second part. It's a little section we call Say What? Say what? What? Yeah, that's right, amigos. The Say What soundbite. But wait a second. I just realized something. We haven't solved our pop quiz. So let's solve the pop quiz. And, well, no, I'll tell you what. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the Say What soundbite twice now. And I see we've got a lot of answers. So what we'll do is I'll give you the Say What soundbite, and you can start answering that, and then we'll start solving the pop quiz, which, as I see, so many people are participating, and that is awesome. And I see a lot of right answers. But just For the sake of time, por el bien de tiempo, and you know here it's scarce, even though it's a 2-hour show, it just flies by. Let's listen to our Say What soundbite. Grab a pen and jot down what you hear. This is your first listen.
And the film got great reviews, and I started going on auditions and realizing what it took to have 2 full-time careers. And I really wanted to have a life, what I called being a whole human, and not just have a career.
All right. There you go, folks. There's your first listen of today's Say What soundbite. All right. I'm going to play it for you again in just a moment. All right. Just give you a second to digest it. Okay. To let it sink in, como decimos. Asimilarlo. Let it sink in. If you remember when Elon Musk bought Twitter, he walked in with a sink in his hand, and he said, and if you got the double meaning, it was let that sink in. Que entre ese lavabo. Let that sink in. But also let that sink in is asimilalo. So did you see what Elon Musk is a punny guy? He's a little bit nuts, but he's definitely punny. Did you guys get that? Because I'm sure you all saw the images of him buying Twitter and walking into the lobby, recepción, and with a sink in his hand. Well, let that sink in. De ahí viene. All right. Okay. I think it has sunk in enough. Now it's time to listen to it for the second time.
And the film got great reviews, and I started going on auditions and realizing what it took to have 2 full-time careers. And I really wanted to have a life, what I called being a whole human, and not just have a career.
All right. I look forward to hearing what you heard. Let's take a look at our pop quiz, sponsored by my buddy Kyle Miller. Si tú no rellenas los espacios en blanco, yo los rellenaré. Let's see. The first person to participate is Born to Iron Man. And he says, if you don't fill in the blanks, I'll do it. Nice job, Born to Iron Man. Yeah. Let's see. Kubla says, is that Jorge Arbusto on your chest? Yes, it is. Laura says, if you don't fill in the blanks, I'll do it. Laura, it's your birthday. No, it was your birthday. But hey, I felt like celebrating. Chris says, if you don't fill the blanks, I'll do it. Chris, that in is very important there. But hey, now you know, right? If you don't fill in, y es como una palabra, fill in. If you don't fill in the blanks, I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay? Excellent. Jaime, if you don't fill in the blanks, I'll do it. Great. Kubla, excellent. Leo, when you try to fill out the form, if you don't fill in the blanks, I'll fill them in. Oh my God. Leo, going the extra mile, going above and beyond, dando más de lo que se espera de él. And he says to fill out a form. Iba a hablar de esto, así que me encanta. So in American English, we fill in information. We fill in the blank, right? Or the blanks, if there are many. But we fill out a form. So uno es rellenar un hueco y otro es rellenarlo entero. Interesting, huh? And Leo is just showing off, saying, hey, guys, I know that. So great job again, Leo. When you try to fill out the form, if you don't fill in the blanks, I'll fill them in. Let's see. Ismari says, if you don't fill out the blank spaces, I will. It's correct. It would. I think, honestly, I think in British English, they always use fill out, or maybe the other way around, fill in. But in American English, it's fill out the entire thing, fill in little spaces. But excellent, excellent job. Let's see. Laura says, I can't come today, but I'll take a rain ticket. Oh, okay, now I see. She says, I can't come today, but I'll take a rain check. Nice one, Laura. You guys love talking about the weather. Hey, I'm just It's crazy. I don't even know. That's what I mean. So it's funny. But it's important. I mean, it should rain. I love rain, honestly. Especially purple rain, purple rain. And to take a rain check, which is a great expression that Laura has shown us, to take a rain check means let's save it for another day. Let's postpone it for another day. All right, German. German says, what's the loneliest billionaire in the world? Elon Musk. Elon alone. Okay, all right, German. That was a bit of a stretch there. Un poco rebuscado. But hey, I stretch all the time. I get it. Jaime. Okay, Jaime referring to our Say What soundbite. He says, I think she's an actress talking about a bad review in some performance. Great. Great job, Jaime. Yeah, something along those lines, as we say. Algo por ahí. Por ahí van los tiros. Something along those lines, definitely. Kubla says, I heard an American female discussing how one of her films got rave reviews and she was happy to have 2 full-time careers. All right. Now, it's the exact opposite what you guys are saying there. So Jaime says that she got a bad review, and Kubla said she got rave reviews, which are good reviews. Críticas. Interesting. Don't forget to review For Your Inglés, FYI, and the show with no name. Just takes a minute, and it helps a lot. And I read all the comments, by the way. Maria Jose, there she is, bringing the magic. She says, it sounds like an interview. An American young lady is talking about someone's film career. All right. Excellent. Excellent job, Maria Jose. Laura says, I heard an American actress explaining how hard it was to have 2 full-time careers after the film she was in got great reviews. All right, good. So we got another one with great reviews over there. There's Monse. Hello, Monse. She says, German, good one. Hi, guys. Hola, hola, caracola. Let's see. Leo, our poet, he says, an actress is telling that once she had great reviews about some performances she did. But at one point, she had to make the difficult decision of dedicating herself full-time to her profession or not. Yeah. And I think like a lot of people, career, personal life, career, okay, I want to be successful, but do I want to have a life where I have time to see my friends and family? So I think that's a struggle that everybody knows, right? Monse says, it's good to be back. You guys are like sunshine on a rainy day. Oh, thank you, Monse. Ditto. Te lo devuelvo. Ditto. Chris says, I heard an American actress who is being interviewed. Okay? Who is being interviewed or being interviewed. But is been we wouldn't use because los dos son el verbo ser o estar. So is being it would be, right? Or has been interviewed, but that means ha sido varias veces. I think is being is the one we're looking for. Who's being interviewed. She's talking about something that has to do with having 2 full-time careers. Chris in the house. Chris in the house. Nice job, amigos. I got to say, everybody did a wonderful job, and I am very proud of you. Like I say to Lara every day, when we do things, she learns a new word or she remembers it, I say, Daddy is really proud of you. All right, take out the daddy part. Your teacher is very proud of you, but I don't want to celebrate too much because we've got a lot to do. Let's move on to today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. It's our Spelling Bee only on the Show with No Name. And this is probably one of the most challenging sections here on our show. But I know you guys will rise to the challenge. I know you will meet the challenge and you will face the challenge as you always do. I have faith in you. I have complete and total faith in you guys. Now, I will warn you, and you know this already, the first round is a doozy. Es chunguilla, tiene truquillo. It's a tough one. So everybody hold on to your hats because this is round one of today's Spelling Bee. These words do not have to be capitalized. They are not proper nouns. Everybody ready? The first word is DOUBLE space BASS. The second word is XYLOPHONE. The third one is GLOCKENSPIEL. The fourth one, CYMBALS. The fifth one is BASSOON. And the sixth one is SNARE space DRUM. There you go. That's it. Those are your words. I'll go over them in just a moment at a not much slower, but I will slow down considerably. I'll never go slow. I will always be clear because I can't help it. I can't say, no me sale. Okay, it's not me. Especially if I'm on the phone with somebody. I'm like, I'm like D, like I nail it. I don't want anybody thinking I said T. You know what I mean? So I'm one of those people that I insist on it in my own life, really, really saying those syllables, especially when it's like a number, think about a Wi-Fi password, oh my God, that's, that could be tough right there, even in your own language. How many times have you been like, oops, didn't work. Can you give it to me again? And your friend's like, are you serious? You're like, capital X, lowercase r. It can be quite confusing, to say the least. All right. Did anybody get these words after round one? Going once. Going twice. Oh, wow. Did I go that fast? I don't feel like I went that fast, but maybe I did. Maybe I did go that fast. All right, I'm going to give you another couple seconds here. All right. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, guys, this is what can I say here except okay, it's not wrong. You get 2 chances, but I was betting on you guys. I bet that somebody, at least 2 or 3 of you, were going to get it on that first go. All right, wait, hang on. 1 second. I may have jumped the gun. Quizá me adelantado aquí un poco. Let's see. Kubla's taken a stab at it. Kubla, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is incorrect. And, well, that we can just stop there. So nobody has gotten it yet. Oh, well, since you like the sound effect. Hey, you're just missing an S, but it's not the word. So, ladies and gentlemen, here, Maria Jose, no. I don't see spaces. I don't see comma. That's not what I'm looking for, Maria Jose. I would prefer you wait and you hand it in, lo entregas el proyecto en la próxima ronda. Like everybody, you know, if you think about this, if you have 2 dates where you can hand in a report, un informe, and you choose, I'm going to hand it in on the first date. I would never do that. I mean, unless there was some kind of incentive to do it, right? I would say, okay, if I have another 3 days, I'm going to finish it on time, but then I'm going to look at it again just in case. All right, let's see. We've got Chris Valrol, who thinks she's got it. And you know what? Chris, you're hired. Te contrato. You are hired, because here we're looking for precision, for accuracy, more than speed. Hey, if you work at a car wash, si lavas coches, I understand you're looking at speed, but we're sending rockets to the moon. Esto es lo que siempre me decía mi abuelo. Trata todo como si, treat everything as if it was a matter of a rocket going to the moon. All right? Kubla, second time. Oh, no. Quit while you're ahead, como decimos. Ríndete antes de perder más. Quit while you're ahead. No, I'm just kidding. Here's round 2, folks. This is for everybody. Chris Valrolsen. I don't need it, guys. I'm going to go grab a cup of tea. All right. The first word is DOUBLE space BASS. The second word is XYLOPHONE. The third word is GLOCKENSPIL. The fourth word is CYMBALS. The fifth one is BASSOON. And the sixth one is SNARE space DRUM. All right. If you guys didn't know what it was, these are all instruments from an orchestra. And you want to know something crazy? My daughter, she'll be 4 in September. She already knows all these instruments thanks to the books we read. There's a series of books, Paco y la Orquesta. In English, orchestra. No, orquesta, different. Orchestra. So there's one, Paco y el Rock. Paco y el ta. And it's a little dog who plays different instruments. And you can press these buttons and you can hear the instruments. And plus, another thing I do with my daughter, if she likes the songs from Pixar, for example, from the Pixar movies, I look for, her favorite songs, but played by a live orchestra. So this way she's hearing the music and she's watching it being played, the flute. And we're very lucky in my town, in mi pueblo, we have a lot of events like that where there's like local bands that play. So last week we had a conductor, young kid, pero she was so into it. A conductor es el director de orquesta. Y yo antes decía orquestra, right? Or something like that. So it's like crocodile, orchestra, crocodile. They have an extra R in English, right? And so my daughter, I didn't know half of these instruments, even when I was 15. And thanks to reading, just to show you the power of books. And then if you mix the book with some audio, like, hey, like this book is the shit. There's some audio in there. Then it really is not just entertainment for my daughter, but it's also a learning experience. So let's take a look at these instruments from the orchestra. The first one is a double bass. Now, por favor, no digas double bass, porque eso es doble porción de lubina. Okay? Aunque se escribe igual, it's double bass or upright bass or stand-up bass. Makes sense, doesn't it? Y bass otra vez no es base, B-A-S-E, aunque se escriba igual, es B-A-S-S. And that's contrabajo. So it makes sense, doesn't it? Double bass, upright bass, stand-up bass, contrabajo. The next one, I think you guys know, my daughter even has this one. She doesn't have a double bass. I don't think it would fit in my house. No cabería en mi casa. But a xylophone, esa palabra que empieza con X y suena como Z. Oh, man. And my daughter has a xylophone here, one of those little mini wooden ones, but she loves music because of this. And she doesn't just learn, music and all the different instruments, but she learns to talk about it. Because I say, and what does that sound like? The next one is glockenspiel. I remember when our music teacher, Mr. Hegner, I'll never forget him, one of the greatest teachers ever. Okay. And glockenspiel. It's an instrument with metal keys, xilófono carillón. So it's a type of xylophone. And I'll never forget it when the teacher, Mr. Hegner, said, okay, today we're going to learn about the glockenspiel. We were like, Gesundheit? We were like, Kamahuma? What? Who's a what's a? Glockenspiel. All right. The next one, cymbals. What do you call them? Tímpanos, I think? Or no? They're not tímpanos. There's platillos, I think. Cymbals. These are great because they make a great sound when they crash together. Platillo, tímbalos. Oh, I didn't even look at that. I guess that's an easy one to know. So those are cymbals. The next one, bassoon. This is one I learned. Y ojo, it's not just my daughter who's learning the instruments. I'm learning how to say them in Spanish. Un fagot. I had no idea a bassoon was called a fagot. So I'm becoming, not only I'm learning more Spanish, but I'm becoming cultured, because think about it, talking about orchestras and instruments, and that's cultural stuff. Bassoon. And the last one is part of a drum kit. A drum kit or a drum set is todo, right? Todo el conjunto. And the snare drum is la caja. It's the one that you do the drum roll with. It's usually the one that is between the drummer's legs in the drum kit. And then you got the bass drum, you got the cymbals, you got it all. And for all you music lovers, that's just another way to learn. You know it. We always do it here on the show. We're constantly using music to help us learn English. Folks, we're going to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the second half of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. On Vaughn Radio. Welcome back to the second half of today's show. Part 3, call it whatever you want. Just make sure you tune in to all our amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio. Right after today's show, you've got Ximena Holiday with Test Your English, followed by Rob and Andy in the Lunchtime Show, where you'll get a bit of banter, cha-cha-da, from two best buds, mejores colegas. After that, you've got Tosh Pascua, and don't let her catch you slacking, haciendo el vago. No, she's got the same philosophy as Fitz. No excuses, and she'll take you back to basics to make sure you know the ins and outs, los pormenores of the language. Then you've got Jules Linares with Let's Get Random, followed by your daily history lesson with Guy Williams, a knowledgeable guy. And then you've got the multifaceted Dave Boys and his program, The Salad. And then you've got Killing Me with his finger, killing me with his words, killing me with drive time, killing me it's double trouble. No, it's not. It's homophones with killing me
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. I said homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no homophones. Show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And this is a part of the show where we look at words that you might be familiar with or you might not be familiar with. We'll find out in just a moment. But the first thing you have to do is listen carefully and make sure you know the word that I'm asking you. Then listen carefully to the second word, and then I just want you to tell me if those two words sound the same. And by the way, you deserve it, folks. You've been doing a wonderful job. Keep it up the first half of the show. Man, you guys are on fire. I'm telling you, despite the rain, a pesar de, despite the rain, or in spite of, no las mezcles. Pon las dos ahora, apúntalas. We're going to have the party despite the rain. We're going to have the party in spite of, pero no despite of. Interesting, huh? Hey, write it down. I'm telling you, just because I've heard a lot of people make these mistakes. All right, let's get with our homophones over here and see if you recognize these words or not. The first word is a word we just looked at right before the break, okay? It's a part of a drum kit, the part that goes tss, 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 right? And it's a similar word in Spanish. You can say platillos, but there's another word that's very similar to this word. And if you were paying attention, I just said the word, like literally like 5 minutes ago. So that's your first word. The second word is símbolo. Símbolo o emblema. Emblema. I don't even know how to say that word. Voy a ver cómo me suena. Emblema, not emblema. Emblema. símbolo. Claro, quería poner el mismo trújula or whatever it's called. Hey, you see, guys, I in my head, I rationalize what I'm doing here. Same thing I tell you guys. Always be listening a little bit and say, oh, that didn't sound right, did it? So the first word is a part of a drum kit, and the second word is símbolo, símbolo. And in the meantime, while you guys are thinking that through, why don't I give you your Say What soundbite for the third time? Please write down what you hear.
And the film got great reviews, and I started going on auditions and realizing what it took to have 2 full-time careers. And I really wanted to have a life what I called being a whole human and not just have a career.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your Say What soundbite for the third time. Hopefully somebody will be able to figure it out. I think it's relatively easy today. I mean, we've had some hard ones recently. Let's see. German says it's all about that bass, no treble. It's all about that bass. Yeah, great song. And there you can see that. Imagínate que dijera, it's all about that bass. Todo es la lubina en esta vida. Right? So good. And treble is the, how do you say? Los bajos, how would you say the treble? It's the opposite of el triple, pone aquí? Triple, no. Parte soprano, parte tiple. Tiple. I didn't know that. Treble. That's a weird one. The bass, if you're in the car, you have bass and you have treble, right? So what Megan Trainor is saying, I think that's her name, she's saying it's all about the bass, no treble. We don't need the tinny part, el aluminio. We need the part, right? So I think it's agudos is the bass, and I know you have a name for it, but I don't think word reference is making it too clear, unless that's it. So great, German. It's a good way to remember that. Good job. Chris says, and all that jazz. Chris, what are you doing today? You're looking for... Well, you got it. And all that jazz, y todo eso, another musical expression. So we've looked at expressions that have to do with the weather. We've looked at musical expressions, and we've got so much more to go. There's my dad on board. He says, good morning, Alberto, friends and family. Greetings from Greenwood Lake. What's up, Dad? Great to have you with us. All right, let's see. Kubla participating in the homophone section. And Kubla says the 2 words. Yes, those are the 2 words. Good job. And he says they sound the same. Interesting. German agrees. And those are the 2 words. So right now we've got 2 for 2. And also a nice round of applause. Kubla, looks like you got today's Say What soundbite. Nice. All right. And actually there's a word there, a hokum. The word hokum is not in there. So it's not perfect, Kubla. You're the fastest one. I'll say that. But there's something there that's not right. So if I had to hire you in a courtroom, as the stenographer, the person who's, taking the minutes down and everything, would we get all the information correct? But it's a great effort nonetheless. But there's a word in there, hokum, that doesn't match up over here. Let's see. Treble, I would say sonidos agudos, German says. Yeah, I thought I heard something like that. Chris says, and could be homophones. Why not? I love it. Chris is like, why not? We got nothing to lose here. Laura says the 2 words are and they're homophones. Well, let's hear them. There's just one way to resolve all doubt here. The first word, cymbal. I said it before, right? Cymbal. You got the crash cymbal. You got the hi-hat. These are different parts of a drum kit. Cymbals. And I love the sound of cymbals crashing against them, right? And it kind of makes sense that one of them is called the crash. Uno se llama crash because it's, crash, right? So cymbal. And usually if the drum maker, right, el fabricante, the drum maker, usually has their symbol on the cymbal, su emblema, su símbolo. So let me say it again. the drum manufacturer usually puts their symbol on all the different pieces, especially the cymbal. Yes, they are homophones. Excellent job. Oh, yeah. Rocking and rolling over there, amigos. Unbelievable how you guys are doing today. It's just, I feel like you guys are unstoppable. I don't know if you're feeling it, but as your teacher, I feel like you guys are unstoppable today. So let's keep it going. I think right now it's time for a section where we discover English from the movies. Name that movie. That's right. That's right. It's Name That Movie only on the Show with No Name. And remember, folks, this is a part where you may have seen the movie before. You may have seen the movie in Spanish, not in English, which for me, that doesn't count because then you're missing it. You haven't seen the original movie, really, have you? So this is a chance to learn, obviously, from dialogue, from the titles, from everything, wherever we can extract some juicy stuff. But this is also a way to discover movies or rediscover movies that you maybe saw once in Spanish or twice in Spanish, and then maybe it's a good time to watch them in English. All right, so as always, I'm going to give you a little synopsis, a little trailer, and then we'll take a look at the movie. If you know what movie it is, you can let us know in our chat room. Con artist Marilyn Freiser tries to sell bogus real estate deals in an area overrun by giant ants. What? Días grandes? No, hormigas. In American English, they sound the same. Ant. Hay gente que dice aunt, my aunt, que creo que es más británico. So that would be one that depends, if it's a homophone, depends on how you pronounce it. Remember, we have words that are homophones in some places, but since we all don't pronounce the same, right? Well, they aren't in other. The perfect example I always use is ladder. Escalera, L-A-D-D-E-R. Y si tienes dos opciones, también puedes decir the ladder, el segundo, right? The ladder option. Ahora, en inglés americano son homófonos, but in British English, the latter. I choose the latter option. We say ladder es como una D, igual que el otro. So that's just one example like that. Another one, been. Where have you been? I've heard people say, where have you been? Ahí, habichuela y estar, y cero estar en tercera columna suenan igual. Que lo mismo que en americano es bin, recipiente de basura, right? Recipiente, put it in the bin. So I've been to the bin. You've been to the bean? Yes, I was at a bean farm when I was a child. So it's interesting how we don't always agree. Let's see. Chris is giving us a flick, but it's not the right one. Matchstick Man. Maybe that's what they called it in Spanish. Well, here, let me get through the synopsis and then we'll take a look at it. Con artist. So a con artist, alguien que tima la gente. Okay. Comes from the word convict, convicted, right? A con artist. So con artist Marilyn Freiser tries to sell, intenta vender bogus, and bogus es falso. Me encanta esta palabra, bogus se escribe. So bogus, B-O-G-U-S, okay, bogus. Tries to sell bogus real estate deals, and a real estate deal es pues una operación de inmobiliaria, ¿no? De inmuebles. Real estate deal in an area overrun. Now, I don't know this word in Spanish. I mean, I obviously know what it means in English. Overrun. Plagado de, maybe? Infestado. Toma. Yeah. So sometimes you got it up there. Pone infestado. Same thing. So in an area overrun by, okay, giant ants, hormigas enormes. All right, so let's take a look at the movie. This is a movie that came out in the year 1977. You know how old I was? 0. Yeah, I was born in 77. The movie is called Empire of the Ants, Imperio de las Hormigas, and it's based on an H.G. Wells book, and it stars Joan Collins and Robert Lansing. Empire of Ants. All right. Now you got it, Chris. And the writer, producer, director, a guy named Burt Gordon, created the special effects of these large ants. Now, I thought this was interesting. By magnifying images of a Panamanian bullet ant. So these are big ants. And what he did is he got images of them. He blew them up. No es explotar, esto es hacer más grande. And he used that when he was creating the special effects. Because lest I remind you, 1977, Star Wars, I mean, that was cutting edge. That Star Wars was light years, pun intended, light years ahead of everybody else. So then, excuse me, as a promotional gimmick, and a gimmick is como un truco de marketing. We're going to do a gimmick to get people to come to the store, no? So as a promotional gimmick for the film, they displayed ant farms in the lobbies of the movie theaters. And these were things that were popular back in the day. But there was just one rule that the movie theaters enacted. And they said the ants shouldn't be anywhere near our concession counters or our refreshment stands. Vamos, donde compras las cosas con azúcar. Y, you know, the things that ants, talk about being overrun. I mean, it's a good idea, but now, you know what they would do? They would just like hire people, dress them as ants. I don't know. But Joan Collins, the star, she disliked working with these ants. Again, they were props. They were fake, atrezo. And she said that she was always bumping into them. She was always getting scratched by them as well. And Burt Gordon, this was the third film that he directed that was written or based on the works of H.G. Wells. Now, here's the interesting thing. All three of those films had little or nothing to do with their original source material. Source material es de donde viene la fuente. And this was also the 8th film that Gordon directed that dealt with giant monsters. So this guy had an obsession with giant monsters. And in this case, ants. Let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen for you. The character is called Voice. Yeah, ahí lo tienes, voz. And it says opening voiceover, voz en off. As an image, quiero que todos pronunciéis esto conmigo. No, image. As an image of ants tearing apart an orchid flower. Okay, so image of ants tearing apart, destrozando. An orchid flower, orquídea, I think you say, on the ground is shown on screen. Okay, está diciendo lo que se ve en pantalla. And then in like a documentary voice, we hear, this is the ant. Treat it with respect, for it may very well be the next dominant life form of our planet. So treat it with respect, trátalo con respeto. For it es un poco anticuado. We would say because or cause. Pero antiguamente, for I, ese for I is because I. Pero ahora sí, for I can't take it. Es un poco anticuado, pero para que lo sepáis es igual. So treat it with respect, for it may very well be the next dominant life form of our planet. Sound incredible? Does that sound? Omite el auxiliar. Sound incredible? Impossible? Have you ever taken a good, close look at what the ant is all about? ¿De qué va la hormiga? Have you ever, like these atacephalotes, okay, that's the genus, the species, one of the 15,000 different species, vamos a pronunciar esa también, species, types of animals, species, not spices, spices, oregano, right? Species. Inhabiting, habitar, we say inhabit. It's interesting porque pronunciamos la H también. Inhabiting our planet. This one cultivates crops of fungus for food. Cultiva cosechas de hongos para comer, por su comida, right? Fungus, the plural fungi. Did you hear about that one? Why did everybody like to hang out with the mushroom? Because he was a fungi. Hongo, fungi, un tipo divertido. And he goes, others herd aphids. And to herd is poner en manada, right? A herd is una manada, so the verb is to herd. Herd aphids, another type of animal, just as man herds cattle. And cattle is vacuno, right? Cows. And what about the warriors? Los guerreros. The builders of bridges, roads, and tunnels. Los constructores de los puentes, carreteras y túneles. Frightening, isn't it? Espeluznante, que da miedo. Frightening, isn't it? That a creature as small as an ant, tan pequeño como una hormiga, is able to, es capaz de, have a fair claim. Okay, decir, esto es mío, y justamente, a fair claim to rank, en rango, next to man, al lado de hombre, in the scale of intelligence. So what this guy's saying that, you know, ants are as intelligent as humans because they can build. They have a sophisticated communication system. Tienen un sistema de comunicación sofisticado. I think that's easy. Lo único que si escribes sophisticated en inglés es con PH, no con F. Specific messages are transmitted from one ant to another through the use of a chemical substance, a través del uso de una sustancia química, a chemical, not chemical. I've heard people, chemical brothers, chemical substance, sub, tiene B, no sustancia, tiene B en inglés, a chemical substance called pheromones. Todos sabemos lo que son pheromones. It causes an obligatory response. Obligatory, que tiene que pasar. Did you hear that? ¿Oíste eso? Obligatory. Pheromones give an order, dan un orden, that cannot be disobeyed. So if you obey an order, acatas, ¿no? Si, lo sigues. If you disobey, pasas. I'm going to disobey this. So pheromones give an order that cannot be disobeyed. It's a mind-bending substance that forces obedience, que fuerza que te comportes. And mind-bending, okay, it's kind of like mind-blowing. Mind-blowing is more surprising, and mind-bending is, oh, it's really complicated, you know? Muy complejo, muy complicado. It's mind, como que te dobla la mente. A lot of times we say, oh man, that was a mind bender. No, se me torció la mente de pensar tanto. So it's a mind-bending substance that forces obedience. Piénsalo, obedecer, obedience. But we don't have to worry about it. No hay que preocuparse. That business is better left to the ants. Es mejor dejar esto a las hormigas, estos asuntos. Because remember that word, business, I know you know as negocios, but we also use it, mind your business. Tú a lo tuyo. Mind your business. Why are you always butting into my business? That's none of your business. ¿Sabéis estas frases? Pues estas son muy importantes, porque son business cuando no es negocios, sino asuntos. So mind your business. He's always butting into others' business. Butt out, right? Business. And folks, I know you know that I know it, and you know it, and we know it. We all know it, that here on the show with no name, we mean business. Que vamos en serio. Hey, wait, that could be a good double trouble. Well, the good news is, when we come back from our quick commercial break, We're going to take a look at Double Trouble. We've got jokes. We've got to listen to our Say What soundbite again. Name that lyric, famous birthdays, and so much more. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. And as Chris Valrol points out, what do you want, another totally native? Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Oh, yeah. Vamos al lío. I love it. How many expressions have we looked at today? And tons of vocabulary, pronunciation things. I mean, man. All that while having fun, playing, laughing. And I hope you guys will join us at the book fair for more of the same, but in person, in the flesh, in persona. Isn't that better? Of course. Always. If you can go for in person, do it. Face to face, baby. We'll see you at the book fair Saturday, May 27th, Saturday, June 3rd, and Sunday, June 11th. From 11 to 2 p.m. at Stand 312, Vaughn. Richard's going to be there, David, Kyle, Ximena, Tosh, Guy, Jules, and so many more of your favorite Vaughn Radio presenters. Also, jot down June 7th. I'm your social planner. Jot down June 7th, because we've got another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night hosted by Andy, Rob, and Nacho. June 7th at Roll Madrid at 8:30 p.m. So many cool things coming up. Oh, and my friends in Barcelona, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a book launch there with Damian. You'll get all the information first here on your favorite radio station, Vaughn Radio. All right, let's get right back into things, because it's time for Double. Sing it with me. Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble, only on the show with no name. And yesterday's was really tough, man. Yesterday was a mind bender. Hey, might as well use the vocabulary that we just looked at. How many times have I told you that? I said the key is not just to write down the vocabulary, but to try and use it as close to the time when you learned it as possible. A, to remember how it's pronounced, or just to feel, what it feels like to say it right. Because again, if you can say it, I say this to students all the time. They're like, oh, I can never say that. And then I say, well, you just said it. Just say it like that every time. So whatever you have to do to your tongue and your brain and all that, whatever it takes, but you know how to say it. You just got to say it like that every time. And sometimes it's just a matter of breaking bad habits, right? Because a lot of times, well, we learned wrong or we apply the Spanish pronunciation. We use our tongue like we would if we were speaking Spanish. And it's totally different. I know it because I speak both languages. My mouth, my face feels different when I speak Spanish or English. Even my personality changes a little bit, even though it's still me. I lose a little bit in Spanish because I can't express myself nearly as well as I can do in English. All right, well, here is your double trouble. Now, those of you who are show with no namers and FYIers, you guys have an advantage, an edge. Why? Because we just looked at this word recently on the Diamonds episode of FYI. There was an episode on diamonds that came out recently, and we looked at this. So this will give you an advantage. Le dijo a su familia que le habían dado una patada en las pelotas. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. Just want to teach you this stuff. Okay, una forma graciosa de decir pelotas. Vamos a decirlo así. So, le dijo a su familia, él o ella, I don't know, whichever you prefer, que le habían dado una patada en los pelotis. That might be a funny way to say it. I'm trying to get the same feeling. It's not an offensive way to say it. Okay? It's probably the least offensive way to say it. And also, let me give you our Say What soundbite, folks. Here it is for the fourth and final time. Let's see if somebody can get it perfectly.
And the film got great reviews, and I started going on auditions and realizing what it took to have 2 full-time careers. And I really wanted to have a life, what I called being a whole human, and not just have a career.
All right, there you go, amigos. And if you haven't heard the episode on diamonds, the episode of FYI for your English, here's a little teaser. These precious stones are made possible when intense pressure is applied to carbon. The resulting shiny, sought-after gems are both hard and hard to come by. These mined minerals are used in ceremonies, symbolism, and studied in science. To some, they are timeless treasures. As the song goes,
Diamonds are forever.
we'll delve into the deceptive world of diamonds on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info. There's Nacho.
English.
You got it. Tune in to FYI just to hear Nacho every week. All right, amigos, let's see if anybody got it from that episode of FYI. We were talking about joyas and things like that. Or maybe it was in the Princess Dot. No, I'm pretty sure it was in. I don't see. Now I'm confused. Well, we looked at it recently on FYI. And last week we looked at mountains. And this week, you know what we're going to look at? Well, if you're in my community, you know. If not, you'll have to wait. Sorry. All right. Well, as who was it? I think American Express. They say membership has its privileges. It's a great line. I love it. Like, pero por qué membership has its privileges? No, es vaya frase de marketing. I don't know if it was MasterCard. I think it was American Express. See, I don't remember the brand, but I know it was a credit card brand. And they showed that one person, oh, I'm sorry, sir, we don't take that card. And he was like, oh no, he's washing dishes at the restaurant. And the other guy like, oh, sir, and you also get a discount for being a member. And membership has its privilege. So one guy is like getting a discount on the meal and the other guy can't pay for it. All right, let's take a look. We've got Laura taking a stab. And ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable. Laura, you nailed it. That's exactly what she says. Wow. Excellent job. Wow. Laura. All right. Let's see if anybody figured out today's double trouble over here. Let's see. German taking a stab at it. German says, the nuts guy told his family he'd been kicked in the nuts. Okay, but you added a little something. I like it. Yo no he dicho el tío loco. Pero bueno, I'll take it. Si no hay nada más, I'll take it. The nuts, we say los nueces. We don't say eggs. Bueno, para eso. We say eggs para huevos fritos and stuff. But if you say, he kicked me in the eggs, I mean, maybe people would be able to figure it out. But, you know, we don't say that one. We say balls. We say nuts. And we say this one over here that I've got for you. So, anybody? Seriously? Don't tell me I stumped you guys. Really? Le dijo a su familia que le habían dado una patada en los huevis, en los pelotis. Funny, again, si hay una forma inocente de decir huevos, it's this one, okay? Now, you can say testicles as well, but again, then you want to sound like a doctor or a scientist? No, not a normal, everyday person, una persona cotidiana doesn't want to say, did you get kicked in your testicles? You know, it's like, my friends would be like, excuse me? What are you talking about? Balls. All right, let's see. Kubla says he told his folks he had been kicked in the folks. Kubla, I like it because you made me laugh there. I like it. Doesn't make sense because we don't call them the folks. los padres, la gente. Seriously? Nobody knows it? What if I tell you the word that we use hang on. I've got an FYIer in the house. I've got a hardcore FYIer in the house. Let's see if he's got it. It looks right. Leonardo says he told his family that he had been kicked in the family jewels. Unfreaking believable. Nobody could get it, man. Leo says, here I come to save the day. Leo, wow. You pulled that one there. I was about to move on. I was about to give you the answer. And you gave it to us. So excellent job. Excellent effort to all of you. Okay. And also Chris participating. Let's see. Chris says he told his family that he had been kicked. Oh, no, that's Leo. No, Chris, I think your comment just disappeared. Okay. I'm going crazy or I just saw a comment. All right. Well, either way, he told his family, no family, dos sílabas. He told his family, digo la H, he told his family, vaya, si tuviera que hacer eso cada vez, ¿en serio? He told his family, porque told, hay que respirar para hacer la H. ¿Y qué si nos comemos la H un poco? He told his, so we're saying it in our head, but you don't hear it. He told his family that he'd gotten kicked in the family jewels. That's right, las joyas de la familia. Now, what I don't remember is if we looked at it in the diamonds episode, que es otra palabra, diamond, family. Tienen dos sílabas, no diamond or family. Diamond, family. Think of this sentence. My family shines like diamonds. And if you can just remember those two words, we got to eat, nos comemos una sílaba ahí, okay? I've heard people say, we are family. Why? That's a song. Necesitaban tres sílabas, no dos. Pero igual necesitan dos y ponen dos. So, you know, that's was more a poetic choice. But you don't say, you guys are my family. Like it sounds weird, to be honest. So he told his family that he'd gotten kicked in the family jewels. Maybe we looked at it in the Princess Di episode. I don't remember. The important thing is, if you didn't know it, now you do, my amigos. And now we're going to move on to You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're joking. This is the part of the show where I give you some jokes. Usually they're based on a certain topic. Usually they're related to something else we're looking at. As you know, here on the show, I'm not just randomly, let me just tell 3 jokes. Usually they're related to something, usually the movie. So there's always some kind of connection. And I think you guys know that. I think you know it really, really well because you know how I think. And some of you might even know the famous birthdays before we get to the section. But that's what I like to do. I like to connect things and tell a story. I'm a teacher, but I also study drama. So I like the, beginning, middle, end. I like coming back to things. I love these conventions the stick around stuff. I grew up listening to radio and going to theater, and I can't do my class without putting that in there. Even if you see me in a classroom in ING Direct or Vodafone or whatever, you'll see I was doing the same thing I'm doing right now in front of the microphone. Same thing, right? And if you see me in my Zoom classes, I'm doing the same thing, right? Because I don't know how to do anything else, okay? So here's your first joke. As always, we'll see if you get it. If you don't get it, no sweat. We'll explain it after. What's the difference between a jewelry thief and a peeping Tom? Now, we just said jewels, joyas. Jewelry es otra forma de decirlo, right? Jewelry is más todo. And jewels, I would think of joyas. Oh, he has diamonds. So jewelry would be anillos, rings, necklaces. Okay? So what's the difference between a jewelry thief, un ladrón de joyas, and a peeping Tom? And a peeping Tom is that creepy guy who's looking at you when you're not looking. There's a famous scene in Back to the Future where, Regreso al Futuro, where he goes up in a tree and he has binoculars, Marty McFly, the dad. McFly, the dad. And he goes up and he goes, my dad's a peeping Tom. A peeping Tom, un voyeur, right? Interested in looking at other people's lives. So what's the difference between a jewelry thief and a peeping Tom? If the kids are listening now, you might want to just pause it for a second because this is hysterical and I do want to teach you it, but it might be, well, it's not a bad word. It's a good word that has also a bad meaning. So now that I've given you the disclaimer, turn the volume down if you get offended. What's the difference between a jewelry thief and a peeping Tom? Easy. One of them snatches watches and the other watches snatches. Well, you know the word snatch. If you listen to the Diamonds episode, cerdos y diamantes in inglés se llama snatch, robar. Right? I said it in the episode. So don't just be a show with no namer. Be a show with no namer and an FYIer. They complement each other. They're not, there's no conflict of interest. One is I talk about a million different things, and one I stay focused. I try. I always end up singing in every episode, though. There's always some jokes. Of course. Well, that's, again, I don't know any other way to do it. So it's not like it's a plan. Anybody get it? It's a tough one. Really tough one. So what's the difference between a jewelry thief and a peeping Tom? One of them snatches watches. Uno roba relojes. To snatch es hasta onomatopeico. And the other watches snatches. And to watch is vigilar. And a snatch is another way to say a vagina. Okay? Me encanta que ahí justo acaba también. I say the word vagina and there it is. The crickets stop. You couldn't time it better than that. So do you get it now? It's a funny, funny joke. So what's the difference between a jewelry thief and a peeping Tom? One of them snatches watches, while the other watches snatches. Okay, what do rabbits think of diamonds? ¿Qué es la opinión de los conejos de los diamantes? What do rabbits think of diamonds? Easy. The more carrots, the better. No. The more carrots, the better. Okay, cuanto más zanahorias, mejor. Pero ¿qué otra palabra suena exactamente igual? quilates, right? The way we measure diamonds, same word, not the same word, same sound. So, what do rabbits think of diamonds? The more carrots, the better. All right, one more, and I promise we're done. And we got to move on because we're running out of time. People who rob jewelry stores and banks are pretty bad people. Would you agree? People who rob jewelry stores and banks are pretty bad. But people who rob bakeries, man, they really take the cake. No, they really take the cake. Realmente se roban la tarta, se llevan la palma. Okay, all right. We're going to move on, but it's only because we're going to run out of time. It's time for famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays. Come on to my house. Come on to my house. This is a singer who, man, she sang so many cool songs, and she always did like the fun, like danceable songs, like Hey Mambo, Mambo Italiano, Hey Mambo. She did Bacia Me, which is interesting. I just realized botch is hacer una chapuza, hacerlo mal, no? To botch something, B-O-T-C-H. But she's singing the Italian song Bacia Me, Bacia Kiss Me. Oh my God. Well, in American English, it's not called Bacia Me, it's called Botch Me. You got tenderly, half as much. Oh, and her nephew is George Clooney. So she's famous, and so is her nephew. All right, that's, I just told you her last name. They share the same last name. Number 2, this woman was born in England. She's an English actress. She was born in Paddington, London, and she attended the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. She's been in so many movies, Subterfuge, The Road to Hong Kong, Empire of the Ants, which was today's Name That Movie, The Bitch, The Stud. The Stud is el machote. So we can learn a lot from the titles of the movies she's been in. And last but not least, her name is Hoya. We looked at that word a lot today. Her name is Hoya. She's an American singer-songwriter who was raised in Alaska. And she always asked people, who will save your soul? And you were meant for me, and you were meant for me. And she's got so many other songs, a very, very talented musician who also had a stint, un turno, as an actress. But then she decided to dedicate her time strictly to music and becoming a whole human. Does that sound familiar from today's Say What soundbite? That's her. All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner, Chris Valrol. Number 1, Rosemary Clooney. Number 2, Joan Collins. And number 3, Jewel. That's right. And this is Jewel in an interview. And she says, and the film got great reviews. No, le dieron buenas críticas. Or rave, Kubla, you said a great word before. Rave reviews are great reviews. And I started going on auditions. Empecé a hacer castings. And realizing what it took to have two full-time careers, lo que era tener dos profesiones, que no eran media jornada completa. And I really wanted to have a life, una vida, that I call, que yo llamo, being a whole human, siendo un humano completo, not just a worker, not just a wife, not, having a balance, I think she's talking about, and not just have a career. So here she is, birthday girl, Jewel.
And the film got great reviews, and I started going on auditions and realizing what it took to have two full-time careers. And I really wanted to have a life, what I called being a whole human, and not just have a career.
All right, folks, name that lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, folks. That's right. All right. Well, I think I'm going to give it away here. I'm going to tell you the name of the song because depending on whether you read the Italian title is Kiss Me. The American title is Hazme una chapuza. Very, very different. Right? He did a botched job. So in English, we call it Botcha Me. It's Rosemary Clooney. If you want to take a look at the song, it's one of those songs that I think just everybody after they hear it is in a great mood. And I don't know if you guys know this, but a tradition I have before I start the show is I listen to the Name That lyric that I've chosen. And it kind of gets me in the mood for the show. And this got me in a great mood, as I'm sure you could see. So if you want to Google the lyrics, hey, al menos aprendemos algo de italiano, o no, aprendemos a decir, hacer una chapuza. So, bacha me, I'll bacha you. Te haré una chapuza. And everything goes crazy. Que podría ser eso, eh? Bacha me, bambino. Ba boca piccolino. When you kiss me, and I'ma kiss you. See? So there you know that she's trying to speak Italian, but for Americans, it's hazme una chapuza. Really changes the meaning of the song. It is a beautiful song. I hope you'll follow along with us. Thank you so much, guys, for all the amazing work you do today and every day. Stay tuned. We've got the one and only Ximena Holiday up next with her program, Test Your English. Don't miss it. Thank you so much, amigos. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Ciao.